IRS's budget because they think that the IRS is a model of inefficiency and shouldn't be rewarded with more money. Well, could that have been a possibility, a motivation for the way they voted?
Kennedy, I so appreciate that question because the reality
could that have been a motivation for the way they voted?
And it relates very closely to what Senator
Could that have been a motivation for the way they voted?
That you've seen it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving into a heated exchange that took place in the Senate. Senator John Kennedy went head-to-head with Yale law professor Natasha Sarin over IRS funding in the latest budget debate. Things got intense, words were exchanged, and the discussion quickly turned into a battle over facts, credibility, and accusations. Buckle up because this is one debate you don't want to miss. So let's break this down. Professor Sarin, an expert in tax law, was called as a witness during the budget hearings. The topic, IRS funding. Now, as you might know, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the IRS budget. Should it be increased? Should it be slashed? House Republicans proposed reducing the IRS budget, and Sarin took to Twitter with a strong opinion. On October 30th, 2023, she tweeted, and I quote, "The House Republican stance is, I kid you not, support for Israel as long as we make it easier for people to cheat on their taxes." Now that is a bold statement, and you can bet it caught Senator Kennedy's attention.
I'm looking at one of your tweets from a few months ago, October 30th. 2023, I'd like to read it to you. The House Republican stance is, I kid you not, support for Israel as long as we make it easier for people to cheat on their taxes. End quote. Did you tweet that?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
He was not going to let that slide. Kennedy wasted no time. He read the tweet back to Sarin and asked her point blank, "Did you talk to any House Republicans before making this claim?" Her answer? No.
First, if you could, how many Republican congresswomen or congressmen did you talk to?
I didn't talk to them. I actually was just reacting to the legislation that was proposed.
You didn't talk to any of them?
She admitted she hadn't spoken to a single one, and that's when Kennedy started digging in. He questioned whether it was fair for Sarin to make such a sweeping accusation without actually speaking to the people she was criticizing. He challenged her on whether there could have been other reasons why House Republicans voted to reduce IRS funding, reasons that had nothing to do with supporting tax fraud. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. When Kennedy asked if it was possible that some Republicans voted this way because they believe in a balanced budget or think the IRS is inefficient, Sarin didn't exactly have a clear-cut answer. Instead, she kept going back to the idea that defunding the IRS would increase the deficit. And while that may be true, Kennedy's point was more about intent. Did she assume bad faith without evidence? At this point, things got even more heated. Kennedy accused Sarin of making a vicious statement without doing her homework. He said, and this is a direct quote, "You're only young once, but you can always be immature." Ouch. That's a tough one to come back from.
I just find it, Professor, appalling that you would make a statement like this, a vicious statement like this, without talking to a single person about whom you made the statement. And I'm going to remind you, you know, you can only be young once, but you can always be immature. And you ought to think about that.
But it didn't stop there. As Kennedy continued pressing, the committee chair stepped in to call for more respectful treatment of witnesses. And in classic Kennedy style, he wasn't having it. He made it clear he wasn't trying to bully anyone. He was simply testing credibility. And in his mind, Sarin's credibility had just been tested and failed.
I think personal insults to witnesses are not appropriate, and I will not be tolerant of that in this committee.
Well, could I respond, Mr. Chairman? You're going to
fire away. I think you just called a
you're going to do what you got to do, but I'm going to continue to use my time. You bring witnesses as you're entitled to, and some of them are very good. Some of them have the credibility of Michael Avenatti, and I'm going to use my time when I think it's appropriate to test.
I'm going to use my authority as chairman
to test credibility, witnesses' credibility. So you do what you got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do.
What do you think? Was Kennedy right to call out Sarin for her tweet, or was this an unfair attack? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown like this one.